Hey everyone, today's video is going to be about concealers, and I love concealers, so I'm super excited to make this video. It's going to be about the 10 very best concealers on the planet, so let's go. So first of all, what I'm looking for in a concealer is, well, obviously one, the right color. I kind of like to brighten up my under eye, as so many people like to. So I kind of go for much lighter than my own skin tone. Two is consistency. I have very dry skin. In the summer it's a bit better, but especially in wintertime I need something that's creamy and very emollient and very moisturizing, so that's the concealers I go for. I hate everything that's drying or that makes my texture visible. Of course everybody hates that, but for people with oily skin it's a bit different. So that's that. Color and texture. And three, I like full coverage. I mean, right now it's not so visible on camera, but I really have bad darkness under my eyes. So I need something that covers everything up and that's reliable in doing that. So that's the three main points that I'm looking for. I mean, of course, I like longevity and I like affordability, I like packaging and stuff, but those three main points is like the game changer for me and decides if I buy it or not. Well, so let's begin. The first one I have here is the Real Deal Concealer by L.A.GIrl. It says a serious coverage and I have it in the shade light. I don't think they have too many colors, so that's one disadvantage, but I can do with this. It's a bit too light right now because, I mean, now I'm much tanner than in winter. This one is what it says. It is serious coverage and it is the real deal. I don't have many concealers that have this much coverage. And this one, the special thing about this one is that it really goes a long way. You just need a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit. It's like the tiniest possible amount that you can put on a brush or in your finger and you pat it in like this and it's like bam, super, super coverage. Of course, the unhandy thing is that it comes in a tube, so you have to use a tool or a finger, which I don't like too much, especially when I'm on the go, when I have this in my travel makeup bag. But other than that, the creaminess is just what I like, the coverage is what I like, so this one is definitely one of my favorites and super recommendable, and I think this one is about 24 pounds, I think I bought it for, because I think I bought it on a UK website. So yeah, despite the fact that it's quite expensive, this has a lot of product. It's 20 gram. Seeing the fact that you need so little, I'm serious. It's like this. It's like this amount that you need to maybe do one eye, maybe half an eye or something. Oh yeah, and one other disadvantage is if you store it a long time in the same position, this will separate. As it did right now. Well, the light keeps changing. That's because I film in daylight and there's a storm out right now. Anyway, the quality of the product is exactly what I'm looking for, so I will probably repurchase this whenever I will ever run out of this, which is probably never. And then we have an all-time favorite for a lot of YouTubers actually, and it hyped like half a year ago or something, and it's the L.A.GIrl Pro Conceal. I have this in a gazillion different colors, and it comes in a tube with a little brush. And this little brush gives you a lot of control while applying, which I really like. You know, as you can see, you can really put some detail work in there. The coverage is really good, like all the concealers. I actually talk about the coverage is great. And of course, the advantage with this one is that it's super affordable. It's like, I think I bought most of these at Arcade House, and they're like $3 maybe. I mean, of course, I live in Holland, so I have to pay a lot of shipping, so that makes it a bit more expensive. And yeah, the affordability and the performance, especially the coverage and the blendability, make this a good product for me. And then we have a total dupe for that, and it's the High Definition Concealer by Popfeel. And it looks like this, and the packaging is actually exactly the same, just a little different in like the patterns here, you know, they have little like polka dots. but I think maybe it's even from the same company. And I look at the ingredients, and there are a lot of the same ingredients on there. Not exactly the same formula, I'm guessing. So no wonder that this performs exactly as good as the L.A.Girl one. And this I bought at AliExpress, where I sometimes do buy makeup just to try out and because I'm curious. For their performance, and this really did well, and it was like, I don't know, $1 or something, and I was super happy that I tried this. And of course on AliExpress I had a lot of bad experiences as well. You know, you buy like shitty blushes, shitty powders, and shitty concealers, shitty lipstick and everything, but this one was a hit, a total hit, because it's so affordable and super blendable as well. And I also really like the color. I mean, now on camera it looks super crazy, but it's yellow toned, and I actually only like yellow toned concealers. Everything that's pink makes me look gray. And I think actually that that's a mistake that many people make, you know, that they don't choose the right concealer color. I mean, of course it's taste in some way, but I think many people are not aware that they look gray sometimes. So yeah, Popfeel High Definition Concealer. Super recommendable. Yes, and then we have the infamous Tarte Shape Tape. And yes, it is super hyped. And yes, it is a rock star in every favorites video and every concealer video. I know that, but yeah, you can't say anything bad about it because it is just that good. The special thing about this one is a lot of product. How much is this actually? Does it say 10 milliliters? And the huge wand. So you have to be careful with this, you know, because indeed, as some other YouTubers already said, you have such a big wand that people think that have to smear it up like with the small wands, which is really not the case. You know, you have double the product on this one as on one of those traditional wands, so you really have to be careful. You have to dot it on like this in really, really tiny amounts, and then you blend it out with a sponge or with your finger or what you want. So that's one point that you have to think about when you apply this. But coverage wise, it's amazing. They have a lot of different shades. I think I have 3 or 4. So yeah, they really did a good job, and it is worth the hype. Next, another one by Tarte, which I equally love, but which isn't really hyped anymore. It was hyped a few years ago, I feel, and now it's kind of like neglected, and it shouldn't be because it's really, really, really good. It's the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. I bought this in the first place because it says it's creaseless. And of course, everybody's looking for something creaseless. I don't have too many problems with creasing, but I just don't want the texture. And I thought, if it's creaseless, it doesn't emphasize my texture. Anyway, it comes in a little applicator like this, which I quite like. And what's special about this is that it's tacky, which means in my case that it's a good thing because it's not drying. I feel the tackier the product is, the more reliable it is in not being dry. And then it's a winner for me, of course. Tackiness is the biggest plus of this one, and I really, really, really love it. Next, we have something that's quite famous as well, at least in the US, I feel, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. It's an oldie but goodie. Everybody has talked about it by now. And to me, this is the cheaper version of the Shape Tape. And of course, the Shape Tape is much newer. But I do think that Maybelline does the best drugstore concealers, hands down. I really have to give it to them. Maybelline makes the best on the cheaper end. The good thing about the Fit Me is that it's affordable, of course. It's like no whistles, no bells. It's super simple. It has a really nice, what I like about this is the long wand. I have the feeling that I have a lot of control with this. But I mean, packaging wise, there's nothing special about it. What I like about this is the coverage. I mean, a lot of YouTubers I heard talking about this, and everybody loves the coverage. Even Tarte, which I admire, and which in my opinion has a lot of knowledge about makeup. It's this is one of her favorites, and this is more in the shade of my skin tone. So right now I'm using this for pimples and blemishes and like maybe little spots or something, discolorations in my smile line and stuff like that. So I don't use this right now for under the eye, so I couldn't say too much about how it performs there, but I'm guessing really good. And the second one by Maybelline, and I have three here that I really adore, is the Pure Cover Mineral Concealer. And I bought this in Germany quite a while ago, and I haven't seen this around anymore. So maybe I have to research it if they even sell this anymore. And consistency-wise, it's quite similar to the Fit Me and the Shape Tape. They're all very creamy. This is super blendable. This doesn't emphasize any texture under the eye because it's so delicate, you know. Whatever you apply there and it creases or it emphasizes your texture, it makes you look so super bad. So, you know, that's why you have to be very demanding when choosing concealers, in my opinion. Concealers, I'm really picky with. And the one is just your typical doe foot applicator. I really like it. I've used this for the last couple of months as well, and I have been loving it. So nothing bad I have to tell about this concealer, and if you have the chance, try it. Then the next one is my very favorite. I haven't come across anything that's better for until now, or at least I haven't come across anything that I've fallen in love with more. And I don't know, it's just my heart beats for this one. And it's the Instant Age Rewind by Maybelline. And it has been hyped also like a year ago or something. Everybody was talking about this and everybody was loving it. And now everybody stopped loving it or something, or at least everybody stopped talking about it. And I think this doesn't deserve that. This like deserves the best attention that I can get. I have this in like, I don't know, 10 different shades. I love them all, and many people don't like this applicator. They think it's not hygienic and stuff. And I can understand that because it's quite big, but at the same time, I don't know. I think it's just like the same material of a doe foot applicator like this, and it's just bigger. So plus, with normal doe foot applicators, you would dip the wand into the product, so there's more air on the product. And with this one, you just, you know, turn that little thing here, and you turn the product up into the sponge. So the product itself doesn't come into contact with air, and yeah, the applicator is bigger, but I don't know. I don't think it's less hygienic than the other ones. I think it's just in their heads. Anyways. This applicator makes that you can apply the exact right amount of concealer under there. And that's what's amazing about this one. Because you don't, as I said, you don't dip the wand into the product, so it's not creamy or clumpy, or you don't apply too much. And it applies so thin, so you have a lot of control. Of course, it's big, so you can detail your application like in the inner corner of your eye. I understand that, so you have to use like maybe a sponge, maybe your finger. But this really fascinates me because it's so thin, but it's not drying. And it's not drying, but it's not really like greasy or anything. So you apply this and it's just like you have one layer of coverage, and you can of course build it up. It dries quite fast and it's super blendable. So to me, this is one of the most natural looking concealers. This has to come back and be hyped. You know, you can't even get this in Holland. So I buy this on eBay from the US, or I buy this in Germany. They have it in Germany. It's about €8, and it's so worth the price. It's so affordable and better than anything else that I have tried concealer-wise. So yeah, I can't rave about this enough. Next, we have one by the brand Becca that I really love, and it's the Under Eye Brightening Corrector. It's a peachy color. Looks like this, and consistency-wise, it's quite interesting. It's tacky. It's definitely tacky. It's not liquidy, of course, like the other concealers, and you tap it on and you have like this little stickiness to it. I mean, it's not much, of course, but you feel it's different when you apply this. And it's a bit similar to the Creaseless concealer by Tarte, as in tackiness, I mean. And this I like because it actually neutralizes my darkness under the eye. And of course it's peachy, and as I said, I prefer yellow tone concealers, but this I use as a corrector for maybe under a concealer. I can also use this on my own because it's not too full coverage actually, but it diminishes the look of your dark circle because it's so tacky and it's quite like glowy, and it neutralizes your color. So it doesn't need really to be full coverage, but the texture and the color and the consistency of this product kind of makes them invisible without actually covering it with pigment, if you know what I mean. So this one is a really special product to me as well, very innovative in my opinion, and I will definitely keep using this until my death. And the last one is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. So this is marketed as a foundation and concealer in one, and I don't like full coverage foundations. I just love full coverage concealers. So I bought this especially to use as a concealer. And as a concealer, this is huge. This is 30 milliliters. It's 1 fluid ounce. And this one is full coverage. I mean, boom. I bought this in creamy vanilla, which is actually a good color for me right now for brightening under the eye. I want more colors of this because I love this so much. And I'm quite shocked that people use this as foundation. I mean, of course, this is not my right foundation color, so maybe it looks very cakey on my hand right now, but I just don't like full coverage foundation. For me, I mean, on stage, maybe yes, but even then, I prefer like a BB cream or like a light coverage, moisturizing, glowy, illuminating face base. So yeah, definitely a concealer and not a foundation for me. But this has a lot of coverage. It's super moisturizing in my opinion. It's really blendable with any tool that you have, so I really love it. And it's huge, and it's like 10 euros or something. It's super affordable, and I really love it. And I want more shades, and it's not that difficult, I think, in Holland to get the Milani. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Actually, I want to talk about concealers more. I don't know. I'm obsessed with concealers. I just can't stop spending time thinking about and keeping myself busy with concealers. I don't know. I just love it so much. Anyway, I hope to see you in my next one. Please subscribe if you want to see more, and see you later. Smoochie, bye.